Screams, and Dreams. I'm your host, Joshua Wiggin.
And I'm Ashley Wiggin. Tonight we have an awesome episode for you guys, bringing you something a little unique to what we usually do. We've got some members of PEARS, the band, to talk about some of their music, some of their experiences on the road, and some of their most extraordinary experiences.
That's right. This is our first musical guest that we're having here on Beam, Screams, and Dreams. We hope you guys enjoy. Stay tuned. So we're really happy to have our guests on tonight.
Yeah, we've got all the way from the West Coast to the Third Coast.
Yep, really happy to bring you Zach Quinn and Eric Goodyear of PEARS. Welcome to Beam, Screams, and Dreams, guys. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Yes. Great. Wonderful.
How's the COVID life treating you guys on each coast?
Eric, do you want to speak first?
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
But, you know, I've also gotten to know myself a lot better.
That's good. Yeah. You guys dropped your self-titled album in March, the PEARS album. And I love the album personally, and listening to it now as opposed to when it came out, you know, like a lot of the topics in there are about isolation and introspection. Do you guys feel a different way now? When you were writing the songs, obviously that was pre-COVID. Do any of the songs take on a different meaning for you now during this time?
You know, for me, like, you know, there's a certain element where like I finished the record and I moved on, you know? So there's a lot of it that's just like, no, I'm disconnected from it now. But like in retrospect, like a lot of the, like you're saying, like a lot of the topics, like, I don't know, I can't, like there's a couple of things that happened on that record where I'm like, oh, am I like just some unwilling clairvoyant?
Like foreshadowing all these like odd happenings and isolation and
totally stuff. I mean, like the fact that like there's an entire song that's about isolation, and then it's about I have developed kennel cough. And listening to that song, Sympathy Cone is the name of the song.
I was going to say that song too. Yeah, for sure.
Listening to those lyrics is like shit. I mean, this sounds like it's about COVID, but
yeah. And at the end of the song, you cough.
Yeah.
I was like in my notes. It was like, you know, that cynical, serene, and comfortably dumb all kind of have this weird theme. If you put those together, you almost got like a handful of COVID anthems there, which and y'all were right before COVID came out.
But also, I think from the perspective on all that, I think some of it's coming from like just being in a band on the road mindset at times, and that's definitely isolation in its own form too, you know? Oh, I mean, I guess it was. Boy, I tell you what, when that's resumed, I can't, you know, it'll just be nice to see someone at a gas station.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, like, dude, Eric, you realize like it's dawned on me since, you know, all this happened, but like, boy, we really had no idea how bad it could get.
I mean, I'm always paranoid, and my dad's a doomsday prepper, so I'm always hearing this kind of spiel.
Sweet.
Since Y2K.
How prepared is he?
Yeah, how prepped was he for COVID?
Before Y2K, he had a wine cellar like kind of thing going on with Diet Coke bottles full of tap water.
Okay. So
all you need is a Diet Coke. You're good to go.
Gonna survive the nuclear holocaust with that.
He obviously forgot like the toilet paper, like the rest of the fucking world did not in the beginning of this.
Oh, dude, that one, man, that is so funny. Like the
you don't need toilet paper. You can just wipe
anything.
with
Yeah.
Diet Coke.
I mean,
It doesn't even matter
you
anymore.
just shit in the bottle. You put
Yeah,
the ring.
honestly, I think if you drink enough Diet Coke, you don't need to wipe because the velocity of the shit, like it's coming out so fast, it's not gonna stay on your rim. You know?
Yes. Have you ever sat on a 2 liter of Diet Coke?
I'm not.
Okay, okay. Roping back around. Okay, so also talking about like you guys. So you got off a world tour at the beginning of this year, and you finished up here in the States, and that was back, like 9 months ago. And was that like the last time you guys saw each other? Was that the last time like the full band of Pairs was all in the same room?
Well, no, we actually we got together more recently and started recording some covers, which I mean, like, yeah, it's no secret really, so I can talk about it here.
I've got an inside scoop on that. I want to say it's called is it cover 19? 19
something.
Covered 19. Yes.
And I've also gotten some write-in complaints that there are not, in fact, 19 songs on this album.
That comes from Keeper.
There are not.
He called it right away.
And,
he has literally been saying this for 3 months now. Jason has. He's like, you gotta have 19 songs. It's like,
Kiefer can suck my butt, dude. No. It's honestly, it's funnier that there aren't 19 songs on it.
I agree.
But what if you just do it with like 20 songs?
You overshoot it or undershoot it. Don't nail 19 because I think having
you're asking us to work even harder than we would have to.
So here's my spiel. You do 18 and then release a single on a cassette only as an accompaniment. Just one single song.
No. We recorded like 12 songs, and that's what it's gonna be.
That's perfect.
And we are calling it Covered 19 no matter what.
So
everybody's just gonna have to deal with it.
So are you guys releasing that through Fat Records also?
Yeah.
When's that expected to come out?
I have no idea.
We'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, I mean, like really everything is in flux right now, So
yeah,
we've got a plan of how we plan to like release it at least. So we got that on our side.
Sure. So with you guys having spent so much time on the road, and obviously we're all from New Orleans or Metairie,
Not me, but close enough.
But
hey! I saw you're from New Orleans when you're from Metairie.
From Metairie, old Metairie represent.
That's the thing.
I was blessed by the Lord of Dirt Town at one point, so I got my New Orleans.
She's got some New Orleans cred.
Street cred, but I met.
No, it's great. I mean, like the thing is like New Orleans is so massively gentrified now, and somehow Metairie has preserved some of the beautiful things about New Orleans, like out there. So that's what that's what I was thinking about when I posted that. I mean, like, yeah, you're from New Orleans when you're actually from Metairie.
That's true. So being from where we're from, and you guys haven't been pretty much everywhere, I'm sure you guys have a fair amount of creepy stories of your own, some stories from the road, or maybe some of your own weird personal stories.
Yeah. So is this supposed to be like paranormal, supernatural?
All of it, whatever,
everything, man.
Yeah.
Aliens.
If you've even come across a serial killer, a murderer, you can tell that story. Anything wild, scary, everything.
Well, I mean, listen, there's going to be plenty stories about a serial killer later when I get caught. Nice. But for now, I can tell a story. I mean, I definitely have a story from my childhood that I think is. I've written extensively about it, but like in coded ways, Sure. But there is absolutely a story. if I should do that. Should I?
Yeah,
absolutely, man. That's what we're here for.
Okay, Eric, I'm pretty sure I've told you the story before. All right, I'm gonna get close.
Oh, get comfortable, yeah.
I like that.
No, okay, so I was about like 7 or 8. At that point, my parents were both musicians. And when I was growing up, they would play on Bourbon Street. They were bourbon, cover musicians or whatever. And they would play like through the entire night, so we'd have a babysitter, and they would leave at like 5, 6 p.m. and come back to the house at like 4 in the morning or whatever every day. And one night, I like felt uncomfortable in my own room for whatever reason. I don't know where the fuck my babysitter was, but I went to my parents' room, and I spent the night in there. And yeah, this has got to be, oh shit, like 24 years ago. So 1996 probably. And so I'm sleeping in my mother's bed. My parents at this point are actually they're divorced. And I'm sleeping in my mom's bed waiting for my mom to come home. And I wake up after going to sleep there, and I'm sleeping on my back, or I wake up on my back, and the sound, or rather the absence of sound, the silence in that room starts to pulse. It's almost like it sounds like a washing machine,
Just like kind of undulating, sort of just like
dum dum dum.
Yeah, no, well, it's just silence that's going boom, 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 and for whatever reason, I am totally not upset at all. Like, one thing that I remember about this is that I'm completely relaxed through this entire thing. But that starts this sort of boom, 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 and it starts to pick up in pace. And in the corner of the room, there's an armoire. Okay, so the silence is going boom, 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 and that thing is in the corner of the room. But above it, at this point, I noticed that there's just a cloud, like a black cloud. But again, totally relaxed, laying in the bed, seeing that out of the corner of my eye.
And this is, you said, in your mom's room, right?
Yes. And so this thing, the sound picks up faster and faster. Boom, 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 boom. And the next thing that I know, I am where that cloud is.
Whoa.
Looking at myself in the bed.
Almost like astral projecting, kind of?
Yeah.
Like
100%, like out of body experience completely.
Yeah.
Looking at myself from the cloud.
What did you see? What were you doing, like, in the bed?
Like, were you looking at yourself whenever you became the cloud?
Yeah, basically.
Oh,
but I mean, like, the version of me in the bed is just laying there.
Right.
And I look at myself, and that lasts for a moment. And then I'm back in my own body, and the sound starts to slow down. and then it's like it never happened, and then I fall back asleep.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's crazy. Was that the only time something like that had happened? Like,
Yeah, it's the absolutely the only like paranormal story that I have.
Yeah.
but you had a full on like almost like apparition
and
plus
plus
out
an
of
out-of-body
body experience.
experience,
Yeah, no, and I like to this day it's strange because and I don't know how to explain it, you know. But I know the one thing that I know was that I wasn't asleep.
Yeah.
So something fucking happened. Now, I mean, like, I don't really believe in ghosts. I don't believe in demons or spirits or anything like that. But I do believe in basically a bunch of bullshit that sounds even crazier than any of that.
Oh man, feel free to elaborate, you know?
No, I mean, like, you know, I think that, well, all right. I hate that you guys are sitting over here.
Bring him on over.
No, because I feel weird. But anyway,
Bring him over to sit with you. Okay.
The show's
But
all about the weird.
I absolutely, I think when somebody thinks that they see a ghost, what they are seeing is some sort of ripple in space-time.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So do you think that ripple in space-time that you saw was maybe yourself from a different time, looking back at a childhood version of yourself, thus giving you that perspective of being able to see yourself, and you kind of like dipped into that ripple yourself?
Interstellar, basically.
You know, as far as what happened there, like, I really don't have an explanation for it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I have explanations or like theories about when people see or hear ghosts. I mean, for example, like, you know, there's something about like they have found that often in haunted houses, there's typically some sort of malfunctioning, like for example, there was a haunted house, right? A haunted house. And somebody went there and fixed the AC, and it was no longer haunted.
Right.
Sure, you're talking
The
about
fact is that
infrasound.
yes. So so
subsonic
basically,
frequencies.
like, we have this stuff built in us, like instinctually, where like we can pick up on these frequencies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't hear audibly, but we perceive them anyway.
Yeah, and
like
visually as
low
well, because there's
frequencies.
so many different wavelengths of light that we cannot see, but our brain can perceive these things as well.
Right.
And like we even have like
Right.
significant evidence of that, of people that have like phantom limb syndrome, which is like your brain is programmed to have a feeling in that, or your brain, if you lose sight in one of your eyes, is programmed to like see with that, but you'll be able to perceive something on the other side even without that sight.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we have
So they found these houses, right, that were haunted houses that had fucking broken air conditioning units, and the air conditioning units were sending off frequencies, like low frequencies, inaudible but perceivable.
Yeah.
And low frequencies, like we're programmed to like feel panic. Like I think it's like an evolutionary thing, like about like, you know, like volcanoes or whatever, you know, like it's supposed to, the way that dogs know a storm is coming.
Yeah.
yeah.
Basically, people were feeling these things from these low frequencies being put out by a broken AC unit. And as soon as the AC unit was fixed, they were like, oh, this house is no longer haunted.
Oh yeah, sure.
So I mean, like, there's like, I think there's typically like, in fact, the scientific explanation for a lot of this stuff is usually more interesting than the paranormal explanation. But I do. All that said, I believe some fucking wonky shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I 100% agree, man. I think there's a ton of instances where there is infrasound causing that. And they know now, they've experimented in a lab. You can see like shadows out of the corners of your
Yeah, right. It causes audio and visual hallucinations.
right.
but
So
Those
I
low
mean, aside
frequencies,
from
yeah.
that, like, science is also fluid and is not concrete, and we will still continue to like find new things that will be able to explain, paranormal phenomena. And I think that's really the key. Is like people that are out there doing like ghost hunting and stuff is like finding like evidence instead of like trying. It's not saying like this is what everyone says it is, but it's more like,
there's also
how do we get evidence in order to like build a scientific theory, build a hypothesis?
there's
and
also
experiment about it.
the theory that the infrasound is tapping into your brain and allowing you to see things that are there that you wouldn't be able to see without the presence of the infrasound.
Which I think that would be something along the lines of like a
Matrix type shit right there.
Well, no, and
Well,
that's
it
the
would
kind of
be
shit. That's the kind of shit that I think about a lot.
It would be
Yeah.
That's the kind of
psychoactive
shit that, like,
reactions, and where
That's the kind of shit that when I start talking about it, then I sound crazy.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, seriously, like the idea of a ghost, like, I don't believe in spirits. I don't believe in the afterlife. I don't believe in any of this shit. But what I do, what I think that people are seeing when they see ghosts that actually makes sense to me is that there is a tear in space-time,
Sure.
and there's something that they're experiencing that is just basically a loop of something that already happened or is going to happen.
it's all constantly happening all at the same time, infinitely, forever.
And you just get to
I mean, like, we are already like every plane of existence is just pancaked on
like
top
that,
of one
on
another.
top of each other.
So I mean, like, there's no I don't believe in spirits. I don't believe in the afterlife. I do believe that there can be tears and essentially just like loops. And especially like when you hear about like famous like haunted houses, it's usually like the same shit happens over and over and over again.
lady in the white dress crosses a room, goes up the stairs. It's the same thing every time. Right.
It's not there's no being that's crossing the room. You are seeing something that happened once. And you just have this sort of weird fucking, like, there's some sort of
The veil is thin
carved
there.
out
You're able to
spot.
see it there.
Yeah, there's some carved out spot in space-time where you see this minute over and over and over again.
Yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
that theory definitely holds water. They have how many battlefields do you hear about that's like, we always see like these Civil War soldiers just march the same thing. Boom, they walk right over the hill and then they disappear. A lady in white walking up the stairs. Boom, she disappears at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
That all does play as like an echo.
Right.
An echo stretching throughout eternity.
Yeah.
It's the singular moment that's on repeat, only if you're viewing it.
Yes, and the silly thing to me, like the just even the idea of ghosts is so silly to me. Like the idea that there is this like tortured spirit that does the same thing every day. Like, no, that's not what we're looking at. I mean, like, basically.
There's the other hand too, though. Like, not all,
Well, you have seances and everything also on the other hand where people are communicating or are a spiritual medium contacting something on the other side and are able to bring a message through.
Yeah.
So
I do think I think the idea of ghosts is synonymous with like the echo, the person that, or like, the person that's existing but not in your reality. I think it's synonymous. So what we call the ghost could be just like you said, like that tear in space-time, which makes a lot of sense to me also, because think about whenever you go to space travel, like even when you stop at a red light and you go, people look like they're walking at different speeds than they were whenever you pulled up to the light, you know, like
Sure.
things change from your perspective and your perception.
In lieu of an extra normal news segment tonight, we'd like to bring you guys our first musical segment.
Here's Pears with Comfortably Dumb. Check it out.
I miss my Nemo when I'm on the road.
I think that's a really great take, Zach. Eric, I think you had a story to share as well, right?
Yeah, I've been trying to think of some, but mine isn't going to be about paranormal stuff. Mine's going to be more about serial killers. Well, my story about serial killers is pretty straightforward, but one time I ate a box of Cheerios with a fork.
And you are a serial killer. I knew
I'm
it.
keeping that in.
No, but I am trying to think of.
Beam Screams and Dreams cereals with you guys' faces on the box.
That's right. Yeah.
I love that. No, I've got a quick one, and I'm trying because I've been trying to think this whole time of some pretty horrifying things I can think of or that I've seen, and very scary things too. And unfortunately, I feel like my mind likes to play a block on some of that. So I'm trying to dig deep. But in my thinking of this and living in New Orleans, I do come to think of this one time I was at a friend of mine's house, and she lived like right up the street from Zach, actually, Brittany. And I'll just never forget one time I went to her house, and in the backyard, like I went to go use the bathroom, and you could see like out through the backyard. And I'll just never forget, I saw these two rats hanging by nooses along the power lines.
Oh.
And I just always thought that is such a psycho thing, whoever did that. Like,
Yeah.
someone really took their time to fucking probably killed the rat. They put it on a little noose and they hung it along the power lines.
Oh,
and
man.
I just
Like,
that's
wait,
always been very
that's
disturbing.
not a paranormal story. That's just a really bummer story about New Orleans.
It's just that's just like a pretty psychopathic thing to do. I'd say.
Well, no,
so.
because then you're like, who lives around me?
Yeah.
Who
knows? Maybe it could even be some crazy kind of ritual or something, you know?
Yeah.
You never
also,
fucking
you
know.
never know who your neighbor is in New Orleans as well, you know? You were saying earlier that you did have a little UFO story as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, one time.
Okay. No, to be fair, Eric and Brian do acid and then they think everything is a UFO.
Everything
for like
UFO,
12 hours.
Well, no,
like,
I was talking to Brian, and you know what? He's got a good point, because what it was, we were hanging out.
Identified flying, and
we were hanging out, and
dude, every night on tour, Brian is
no.
Dude, I saw a fucking UFO.
Yeah, he always thinks he sees a UFO, but this really was. But this really was a UFO.
Yeah.
It was an unidentified flying object.
Yeah, if only one out of them, of everyone he said is a UFO, was actually a UFO, it still validates all of them.
Valid.
We were out in the woods in North Carolina, and it was late, like Zach was saying. And yeah, we did eat mushrooms earlier in the night, and it was 4 a.m. And yeah, we were like tired, and we were about to kind of call it. And then we just saw this orb that was just kind of floating.
It was
a
plane, dude.
Huh? It wasn't a plane. It was like it was.
You were on acid. It was in the middle of the night.
Just staring into the night sky. And yeah, I mean, all I'm just saying is it was floating around, and it was floating around for a while. We were all looking at it, and me and Brian, and we were like, "Oh man, that's been there for a while." And then it just went to float along out of the woods. And I mean, it was just at a very low point. It wasn't like a plane. It was just like an orb, like looked like it was the moon, you know, but it wasn't the moon because the moon was over there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like yellow, white, blue, red? Do you remember like the color? Like yellow?
It's like yellow. Mm-hmm. It's like a little like yellow, almost borderline orange, but not really. Just, you know.
So like your shirt.
Yeah. And that's really it. It just floated away, and that was really weird.
Yeah,
but
man,
it didn't fly like any plane I've ever seen before, or any helicopter.
Well, those are the key.
Didn't look like any star. I'm not saying it was aliens either. It was just not like any object I've ever seen flying.
Well, I give validation to that story.
Absolutely.
Also for the fact that what have we seen on like the news and everything recently is the Pentagon nonstop dropping stuff, being like, yeah, we've been tracking unidentified aerial phenomena for decades now. Here's a video of one. Yeah. Stop paying attention to the fact that we're not going to give you guys COVID relief money. Here's a video of a UFO. You know? I want to say this also, just like how we talked about the infrasound maybe making it possible for you to see something that is there that you wouldn't see otherwise. Maybe the acid could do the same.
Oh yeah, that's a good
one. But also what we know that acid does is causes hallucinations.
No,
that's true.
Okay, but also
in very, very large doses.
When you do psychoactive drugs like
one hit, you're not going to see shit.
Mescaline or psilocybin or acid, though the parts of your brain that are activated are your association areas. So it's actually not that it just makes you see shit. It gives you like association with feelings and thoughts, and that's why people like really like it. That's why you get that euphoria feeling. But it can't really make you see shit that's not there. I mean, people do, but that's more of like
high enough doses.
That's more of like seeing like the wavelengths of colors, and it's like a magic eye. It's more like you see the wavelengths of colors, and then you just build an image. Like when you're a kid, have you ever like looked into like a dark closet or like into the woods while you're driving in the dark, and you're like, there's gonna be something scary there, you know? Like your mind creates an image that you want to see. But I don't feel like moving is typically part of that.
Yeah, non-ballistic motion of an object. Like you see something fly
That's
in
like,
and then just go boom, blast away. It's a little different.
Well, and especially if both of you saw this.
Yeah. Same time. It's like, what the fuck is that? Oh shit, I see that too. What the fuck is that?
Well, me and Brian saw what we saw at the same time
Right.
too. We were both like, "You're seeing this,
Well,
right?"
I mean, like, not like obviously, like, and this is probably about as ridiculous as I can like manage to get myself tonight, but like, it's seeming to make sense, which is like maybe you can push yourself to a point where like seeing things that are happening on a plane existing above ours.
exactly.
That's what you're saying.
Well, sure.
I have felt that way before
Seeing
too,
a
for
rip
sure.
in space,
And
seeing
let me
something
tell you
in
something.
space, and seeing something that's a rip in space time in a house.
That also goes into a theory of extraterrestrials. You know, there's the nuts and bolts theory of like, okay, these are beings from another planet in an actual physical craft. And then there's also the theory that they're interdimensional.
And then there's
Yeah.
also the theory that they're us from before or after.
Or phasing in and out of reality.
No, that makes the most sense to me.
That us as time travelers
They are also human, but just like basically from another
3000.
time. Yeah, from 3000, and that time is just folded onto our time. It's so weird.
Brian, do you have a good alien story since you live in San Diego?
So we have here also we've got Zach and Eric's buddy Brian Wallstrom from 1 Week Records. You got yourself a spooky story you'd like to share for our viewers?
Yeah, actually, well, it kind of is like what yours was.
Okay,
So
please,
I was living in a house, and your story actually kind of freaked me out because it reminded me of my one story that I have.
Really? Had I not told you that story before?
No.
Oh wow! I know Eric had heard it before.
Yeah, I've heard that story before.
I was in my room, whatever, like living with a bunch of people, and it wasn't even a party night. Like we weren't even drinking or anything. Normally we do, but we were hanging out.
When was this? How old were you?
Oh, I was like 25 maybe.
Okay.
So like, 15 years ago or so.
Sure.
And I wake up, and you get the paralysis thing.
Yeah.
Where you wake up and you can't move.
That happened in my story too. By the way,
That's happened a couple times to me, and I know what that feels like. But this one was like paralysis, but it truly felt like I was being held down by something, and someone else was in the room. And I kept looking over. The only thing that I could move was my head. And I looked over towards the door, and the door was open, but I always shut my door. And I couldn't move for like a good hour. And I was just in this paralysis state, and it felt like there was someone there. It was so fucking crazy. And it's kind of a boring story, but that's all it was. But I woke up kind of forever changed. Like I woke up forever always thinking, okay, there's other shit out there.
Yeah, and what I really think it is I think that when you experience something like that, you're experiencing like people or like mega fucking like evolved people traveling.
Yeah, being with you.
Interdimensional.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's super fucking weird. Yeah. It only makes sense that there could be things that for the record, stories that we have like this are all like really negative and terrifying. Yeah. I can almost guarantee you that there are like interlopers from other dimensions that are like not having negative influence on us. I just don't notice it because it's not horrifying.
Right. I think the reason that like a lot of people that you hear, in our perception of reality as it is, and in our day and age, I think the reason that you hear a lot of that being like informed as negative experience is because most of the time a lot of those people do have trauma, and so when they have something like that happen to them, then it is like kind of triggering. But also,
well, there's the fear of the unknown.
But also,
well.
I think like as a species, like we're still very young and still very like not, we're not really well adept with our own power and our own capabilities.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I don't think our emotions are anywhere near progressed to be able to deal with things like that, and so it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's scary to do. I mean, think about your your everyday regular person on the street who is, from the country moves to the city. They're scared of homeless people. They're scared of people of different color. They're scared of being, you
But
have to,
I will
people
say,
aren't prepared to deal with all of these different kinds of emotions, and they're not prepared to deal with all these different kinds of things because most people don't ever get out of their bubble and expand their worldview to incorporate more experiences.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. I do think though that there are essentially I would tend to think that the interlopers, because I'm kind of just sold that that's a thing. I have been for a long time. That's what ghosts are typically, but interlopers, so travelers. I think that the ones that we notice are the ones that are essentially malevolent. I think that that there are probably beings that are traveling within and through our plane of existence without ever fucking letting us know it happened, because they just because they care and they're kind, but they're also shitbags. And that's what I think that my story is. I think that there was a shitbag that was trying to do something fucking weird or nasty, or you were just trying to fuck with me maybe. But I think that those are the ones that we know about. Those are the ones that we hear about because they don't care whether or not they leave a footprint.
Right.
They're
make their presence known almost.
Yeah, they're here to hurt us. They want to fuck with us.
Well, Eric, when you and Brian, not the Brian that you guys can see on the screen, the Brian of PEARS,
Brian
Pretis of PEARS. When you and Brian saw the UFO, did you feel like that was a negative experience? Were you guys like shocked, afraid, scared, or was it just oh, that was pretty cool? How did that make you feel, emotionally wise?
It just made me feel really I mean, I usually don't really believe any of that kind of stuff, but it was one of the only times I've ever kind of been like, man, I've never seen anything like that before. Just kind of a little in disbelief on, just a little bit of, I mean, obviously, as time goes by, you're like, oh, well, it could have been all these other things. But when it was happening, I've never seen anything like it, and I can't explain it. So,
Also, how we perceive it and how we are in our moment in time too. I can never imagine Eric, knowing you, going fuck that. You're kind of one of those dudes. You're just kind of one of those dudes that would be welcoming any kind of outside, weird shit. You're all shit. I'll meet you. Come on down here for a beer.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
just to
yeah. It was. I mean, it was just just a little, not a negative experience, just a foreign one, if you will,
Right. Yeah. Just to elaborate kind of on what you were saying, Zach, because I do feel I think a lot of people do have positive experiences, but I think a lot of people it's like a Yelp review, people come out and talk shit when they have the opportunity to. People don't come out and say kind words all the time.
Yeah. I mean, we've had on our show, we've had psychic mediums with spirit guides that they communicate with regularly that do exorcisms, where their communication with the other dimension is uniquely positive.
Yeah.
Uh,
she's like, I actually don't even see any of the negative stuff. My spirit guides just wipe out demons.
But let me raise this, and this is a new thought for me, because I'm just basically thinking out loud.
Perfect.
Sure.
Love that.
Go for it.
All right. So if we're assuming that there is a civilization that I would assume is human, but just far future, is there any reason that their contact with us should ever be negative? I mean, like to imagine that they couldn't get it the fuck together enough to make sure that it was positive or to make sure that it was unknown. Like, I think that when people have scary fucking experiences, it's a motherfucker fucking with you.
Yeah.
And it's some motherfucker from like 4020.
I mean,
Yeah.
you said what?
Or a different dimension entirely.
What
That's
reason
right next to ours. You
would
know?
someone have to come here
Bizarro world.
and not be positive? Well, I mean, what reason would we in this day and age have to be negative to one another? And that is just the balance of good and evil and the choice of free will. You have the opportunity. You can go be a piece of shit if you want to be a piece of shit. No one's stopping you. I mean, like, yeah, there are things in place to stop you, but you can still make the choice to go be a piece of shit.
We can look at the evolutionary difference between a human and a chimp and know that we've definitely like destroyed their habitats. You know,
Absolutely.
experimented on
Look,
them.
all I'm saying is that I think when some motherfucker and like, look, I've established at this point that I think that ghosts are like interdimensional or time travelers.
I accept all that.
Yeah.
If some motherfucker makes you feel fucking terrified, it's because they want you to be.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me is like that it's because they want you to be fucking scared.
My only rebuttal to
I
that
don't know.
is that people are totally afraid of things that they don't understand also, which is
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true, but also like if somebody is fucking so sophisticated that they can travel between dimensions, they might be a little sensitive to that idea. You know, I mean, like, I feel like they might be like, I don't want to scare the shit out of this dude. But when they do, it's because they wanna.
Yeah. I think you might be onto something there. Well, guys.
And not to say that every travel. What I'm saying is, I believe that we are constantly in the presence of travelers from other places, dimensions. But generally the ones who are well-meaning don't want to leave a footprint and they don't want to fuck our worlds up. So we don't even know they're there. The ones that we know are there are the ones that are like, let's fuck with these motherfuckers a little bit.
Right, yeah. Think about like Star Trek Prime Directive. You don't interfere with a non or you know a current level civilization.
I love that.
You can't.
And like literally, like how funny is it that like a fucking haunting is really just a fucking interdimensional being like, let's fucking prank these fucking idiots.
Yeah, I'm like, bring me interdimensional cable.
It's just the interdimensional Fortnite kid teabagging you after you get
shot.
Yes.
100%. It is the teabag of that whole fucking world.
He's like, yeah, and I fucked your mom.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Eric, Zach, I have a question. I want both of you to answer this. I'll start with you, Eric. This is going back to the band, going back to PEARS.
We're roping it back to reality now?
We're going to throw it back in real quick.
All right.
So, do you have a song that fans fucking love and always want to hear that you hate or are just totally overdone playing?
I mean, probably like, I think I had my little time period maybe thinking that, but not really anymore. But like, I don't know, maybe the Victim to Be song at one point. But I mean, it's just because I've heard it so many times and it's one we're always going to play. So, you know, like, yeah, but now honestly, if I played it again, I'd be so okay with playing that song.
Just stoked to hear everybody singing the words.
Be okay with playing a whole set list of just that song.
Yeah.
There is no PEARS song that I feel negatively about. I mean, like, I have songs that I like more than others, but I mean, like, I'll also, like, you know, ask me again in 10 years. But, like, it's all, at this point, we've been a band for
6 years?
5
6 years?
5 years or something like that, almost 6 or something. I mean, to me, it's all still fresh and great.
That's awesome. That's great.
So I don't know.
So I got a question too. What city do you guys look forward to playing in again the most?
Ooh.
In the world or in this
Anywhere.
country?
Anywhere.
Copenhagen.
Oh, good answer.
Yeah.
Copenhagen?
That place was cool. Yeah, they got the Cristiano little underground like.
Copenhagen's a great answer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go a little more standard, and I'm just gonna say Chicago.
Chicago?
Okay.
Yeah, I do miss Chicago. Sketchy place, but man, I love it.
We want to thank you guys so much for coming on and talking to us tonight, man.
Wait, do we have a special?
Oh, thank you guys so much, Josh, Ashley.
This really was like a fascinating, fantastic interview. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem
so
at all,
much.
man. And I hope to get to see you guys play here again really soon. All right. So we do have a special guest tonight.
Special guests. You guys from Pears might recognize this man.
That's right.
Let's get him set up here on the meeting.
There he goes. Coming to
Oh
you
no.
Live from New Orleans.
Live from River Ridge.
I fucking I honestly
what's up?
like there was only one person that it could have been, and I knew it was gonna be you.
It's gotta be me, right?
I was just like, come on, just hurry up and bring Jason into the fold. I'm sick of the buildup.
There's a lot of build up. This guy said he was a professional at Zoom. It took like 10 minutes to get him on here.
I am probably the Michael Jordan of Zoom.
The Michael Jordan Zoom.
Oh, if you're the Michael Jordan, can I be the Shaq of Zoom? Because I just feel cool with that.
You're like the Muggsy Bogues because you're short. Jason Kiefer of Gura, Finney, fucking what other bands you're in? Also,
Wildcat,
Living Room
0686,
last year at Thanksgiving.
Fat Stupid Ugly People. I'm in all those bands still.
Yes. 0686.
Suburban Rats.
I never quit a band ever.
What was that?
I'm always the
Were
last
you
member
in?
of the band.
Were you in 0686?
You have a Little Bags email address, right? Whatever happened to Little Bags?
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 Part of the I think we saw the top part of the Little Bags
Top part of Little
at the
Bags?
beginning of the Zoom when he pulls dick out.
That's true. That's true.
Yes.
Yeah, Zach showed. There's been a lot of shit going on this episode, Jason. Nudity.
Okay.
Yeah, we have. We also have Crisis Actor.
Oh yeah.
You've been hearing about where's the what is it?
Oh my
Punk?
God! Wait, you
The
know what?
tunes are
That's
available.
actually the coolest idea. God damn it! Wait, I want to make my name Crisis Actor. How do I do that?
You can't change it.
Oh, wait, I can do it. I got it.
Lucky Pooh, that if you could do Crisis Actor.
Please go.
Go to participants and then you find your name at the top.
I did it.
Oh, there he is.
There we go.
He just got a 6 point.
It's still recording. He is now Crisis Actor. It's perfect. Jason,
Candy Hook.
actually, if all three of you guys could go change your name to Crisis Actor, that'd be perfect.
Then we can send this footage to Alex Jones and get everyone really famous.
I'm gonna send this to InfoWars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start a ska band after.
I'm gonna say
No, actually, wait. All right. So there was a girl that say, all right. Do you know the Band Aid Brigade record at all? Like, have you listened to it?
Yeah.
All right. So in Stay Busy, it breaks into that, like, there's that sax solo and then that, like, girl, like, singing, like, doing runs and singing and shit.
Yeah.
Her name is Sandy. And for that record, I was like, please let me credit you as Sandy Hooks.
Oh, shit.
That's in bad taste, sir.
Is it credited as that? Oh
I
shit!
don't remember.
And y'all said
Do it or not?
You said my Kobe joke was dark. God damn, boy.
That's terrible.
Jason, are you in Paranormal Activity 3 right now?
I think he might be. We're gonna get it live.
Look
so
at
that
this guy. He gets to smoke in his house? Are you kidding me?
What?
Wait, dude.
There's no way Kelly lets you
Jason,
smoke
you
in your
gotta
house.
change. You gotta change your name to Paranormal Activity : Jason.
Or just Paranormal Activity : So it's
I've never really understood the colon or the semicolon for that matter. You know,
I never understood Paranormal
Whenever
Activity.
you wanna
I'll
do,
tell
like,
you, there
period.
is a difference. I have a semicolon, and I shit like a nightmare every day.
I don't know if you watched
Yeah.
our last episode, which I do know that you did not, but we found out that there was a guy in Texas that
Oh, yeah.
1,000 or
It was
1,400
years ago.
that died from megacolon, which basically means that he got fucking constipated
To
until
death.
he died. His shit was this big
Hold up.
inside,
I have a
like
picture of
inside of his pelvis, just like a clump of shit that big. But we put a picture of it next to Ted Cruz for ENN, and we were like, it's gonna be in the Texas Museum next to the biggest piece of shit from Texas, Ted Cruz.
That's our second Ted Cruz joke in the series so far. We also accused him of being the Zodiac Killer in an earlier episode. Fuck Ted Cruz. I hate that guy.
Look at Eric. I can't tell if he's frozen or if it's fucking.
Megacolon.
Look, Jason's here now.
Hot.
Yeah. Death by constipation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
There's also
You ready for
another
this?
really cool Jason here.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Jason.
Hey, what's up, other Jason?
No.
Well, you guys can cover this too. Then check
Oh,
this out.
no.
That was being really.
It's, I'm hijacking this. Oh, wait, disable
They're
my-
living with
my
no
screen
claws.
I am Eric this close.
They're living with no claws. They're living with no
That
laws.
is the literal shit from the mummy. It fills up his whole pelvis. That's the shit
Oh,
inside the
Jesus.
mummy filling up his whole pelvis.
No laws.
I can't see that.
Laws.
No, put it away. Eric is freaking me out. I
No
hate that.
laws.
Ashley, let me share something.
Cruz.
A little share
I
ability.
changed my name to Crisis Actor.
Yeah, look, this guy's over here talking about he don't believe in ghosts, but he's wearing a fucking Jesus necklace the whole time. We didn't even comment on that.
No, yeah, look, it's a wooden Jesus with a diamond beard.
Would you get that from the fucking corner store today?
I got this from a mall like 7 years ago. I just thought it was the funniest thing ever. Is it not the funniest thing ever?
It's pretty funny.
Look how shitty it is.
I like the eyes. I think the best.
Looks
The
terrible,
eyes are pretty good.
honestly.
Just
You look
dots.
scared as fuck.
And you know how much I wanted it is I didn't have money for it, and I made Dante buy it for me.
What's a Jesus necklace run?
It was $18.
Oh, I was hoping you were gonna say. I don't know why. I was just hoping you were gonna say it was 3 G's.
30 racks, regular shit.
It was actually 5G, and he exploded an RV about it.
Oh, dude, I was about to make a National Bomber comment about it on the 5G thing. Good job.
That's what I'm saying. Actually, all of y'all changed your name to Crisis Actor, and I'm going to ask you guys about your response to the Nashville bombing in your city. You're there in Nashville. You're all crisis actors
But you
now.
gotta do this for the camera.
And the bomb just went off. Ah!
No. Well, like we're all called Crisis Actor, and you asked us about the
Nashville.
Nashville bombing, and we all just do this.
It was sad.
It's like, I don't know. Lots of Republicans out there, so whatever. And no one got died.
The real dude from Nashville's like, it's a
God.
goddamn shame they didn't blow the fuck out of that AT&T building. I gotta still pay my fucking wireless bill this month. Are you fucking kidding me?
Funny fucking thing about that, they're saying, all right, look, the guy that blew the fucking shit up
Was in the RV, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So anybody else, they would be like, he fucking blew this shit up, right?
Suicide bomber.
Suicide
yeah, no,
bomber.
they're not calling him a terrorist, right?
No, they said they're saying he died in the blast.
So it was a suicide bomb.
It was a suicide bombing, but
Oh,
instead of
I
saying
was-
that because he's a white dude, they're like,
Yeah, no, I was hearing about that too. No, they're like, he couldn't have done the suicide bombing on purpose because the suicide bombing has more motif than that, and like they were like trying to, yeah, I saw that kind of thing.
There's usually a theme to these types of things.
I'm Tucker Carlson. Watch, and I'm like, unfortunately, the good.
He's not in a cult and he's not religious. So what benefit
"All right,
would him
I'm
dying in the
Tucker
blast?
Carlson, and that guy was innocent."
Yeah, I'm Tucker Carlson, and unfortunately, this good gentleman who made a straight 4.0 in high school did perish in the blast.
Oh, the guy who blew up the 5G building, he died? Ah, I bet he thought that they wouldn't be able to find him after that.
Look, so check it out. Yeah, like Tamir Rice, they're all like, "Oh, that kid was bad news."
Why would that little black kid play with a gun in the park? Because his parents are treating him, telling him bad stuff. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Tamir Rice, that's dangerous shit. Hey, but you know what? This guy, he had a 4.0.
Seriously.
I'm Tucker Carlson back from that break, and it is unreasonable to believe that a white man died in a cause and any other reason other than in the fight for globalism and oil. Oil profits.
You mean freedom, sir. That's what we're calling it. We're calling it freedom.
Freedom, liberty, and oil.
It was a freedom bomb. It went off.
It was a freedom bomb.
Freedom bomb.
Jason, change your name to Freedom Bomb right now.
Hey, I took a freedom bomb this morning, if you know what I mean.
I didn't even see Crisis Cracker. That's so good. Freedom, Freeman Tom.
Hey, hey, actually, that's racist. You got to change that. But
Whoa, that's racist?
Freeman Tom. Yes, Freeman is a fucking name they gave to black people, and Tom is referencing Tom Sawyer.
Oh my God.
But
Oh my God, you're right. That is racist.
Jason, while we got you
We
here,
lost Eric.
bro, I need your fucking I need
Dude,
your
make your thing Uncle Bomb.
Uncle Bomb's Cavern.
Uncle Bomb's Cabin, aka Ted Kaczynski.
I need your Life Aquatic Zisu's ship.
You have to
Picture.
send us that whole.
We need it.
that
It
whole-
fits in our bathroom
Can
perfect.
we talk for a second about how Eric?
Wait.
Eric just
Oh
left.
yeah, Eric's giving up on the whole thing.
Is he coming back?
Chris is actor.
Oh,
Chris is actor.
Oh
Why did you
my
turn our
God.
goddamn video off?
I don't know.
Bad at this. Ah, shit.
Is actor. That's so good.
Look,
What?
oh, I think our camera turned off. Now we're on shit.
We kept this camera on too long?
Wow.
Chris is actor. Freeman mom. Okay.
He's gone again.
Freedom.
Change it back. Once I
We
plug
can't-
it back in.
Okay, well, all right. I'm finished with this. I'm gonna get off.
I can't. Yeah, I'm off too. Sorry. I messed up.
Goddamn time.
Why can I?
Wait,
hear
no,
you but can't
I'm here. I'm here.
All right.
Let me. Hey, make me the host real quick. Let's end this. Let's end this right.
Hold on.